No wonder it hasn't stopped raining. Woo, let's go. Our objective,
Paper does not make rain.
our objective for today, I can solve real world problems using system of linear equations. Read together, 1, 2, 3. I can solve real world problems using system of linear equations. Do we need a fair model? No, because we already know what systems of linear equations are, right? So you never the definition, please. Okay, we got it, yes? So, yes. So, we said that it was a set of two or more linear equations with the same variables, yes? Examples, non-examples, and so on and so forth. All right, so we arrive now to applications. So now, everything that we've learned all year, our muscle memory, you're going to start seeing right now when we start setting up stuff, you're going to be like, oh, snap, I get it. Oh, snap, I get it. Because the muscle memory is already there. Now we're going to put everything together. Now, every year I do a different approach, and I try to apply it to something that is very common out there. Now, I know some of your, let's see if some of you think kind of like me, like, who goes, who's been at a place, let's say you're at a gathering, and all of a sudden somebody says something, and all of a sudden your brain makes an equation out of it. Okay, good. Anyway, there's very few of us, but there are mathematics applications on a daily basis. There's a lot of math out there. And I'm going to show you one right now. Yesterday on the way home, I stopped to get some drinks, and I'll show you that right now. Let me just get this set up. And Esmeralda, can you get the light, please? All right, here we go.
Alright guys, I'm here at 316 Cafe. You're good. And so I'm getting some drinks. They just prepped a spiced chai, and Juliana's finishing up my matcha, 24 ounce also. And so basically what I'm going to do, I'm thinking that I'm going to pay for 30 drinks. It's a total of $176. So, prices on this one, the matcha, I think it's how much, Juliana? $6. That means this one was $5.75. So, for a total of $176 for 30 students. So the first ones that get this problem correct, guess what? That's right. All right, let's see how you do. Okay.
All right, I'll stop it right there. What I just did right now, that's a system of equations. You're like, what? I know, right? That's how my brain works. Sometimes I can't stop. Sometimes at the market, I'm at Cárdenas or whatever, and all of a sudden my brain's making equations all over the place. So, before we continue, I'm going to play the video again. I want you to jot down key information that you would need to solve this problem. You understand? Okay, here it goes again. I'm going to rewind it, play it again, and write down key information, and I'll pause it, and then we'll talk it out. Okay? Here we go.
Alright guys, I'm here at 316 Cafe. You're good. And so I'm getting some drinks. They just prepped a spiced chai, and Juliana's finishing up my matcha, 24 ounce also. And so basically what I'm going to do, I'm thinking that I'm going to pay for 30 drinks. It's a total of $176. So, prices on this one, the matcha, I think it's how much, Juliana? $6. That means this one was $5.75. So, for a total of $176 for 30 students. So the first ones that get this problem correct, guess what? That's right. All right.
Okay, I'll stop it right there. So, before we continue, Talk it over to your neighbor. Let them know what important information you wrote down and see if they have anything else to add.
He's getting 30 cups total. He has to pay exactly $176. One of the cups is $6. The other is $505.35. Basically, you gotta match the cups that he got, and also.
Okay, can you get the right light, Esmeralda? All right, who can get us started with one piece of information that we need? Mel. 30 drinks. Hands if you wrote that. All right, then give me another piece of information. Pablo. The total is 176. That is correct. Another piece of information. Hunter. Matcha is 6 buckaroonies. And the matcha, by the way, guys, it's a green tea. It's a green drink. The only thing they put milk, except for I replace it with almond milk. So it's pretty good. And it's sweet. Got caffeine, too. It doesn't have coffee, but caffeine. All right. What else? Julian.
The other one costs $5.75.
So the other one is $5.75. What is the name of that one, everyone? Spice Chai. Okay. And is that it? Let's see. 30. What else did you write, Luca? They're 24 ounces. Okay. So that means that both of them are the same size. Okay. And guess what? That is an actual systems of equation problem. Today I'm going to show you how to set these up and how to solve them with all the information that you already have and all the skills you got. Everybody got it? All right, so set that aside. For right now, we're going to revisit, hold on. We're going to revisit the problem-solving strategy I gave you the first semester. Remember the problem-solving strategy I gave you? Okay, good. In case you forgot, I actually made a huge poster and I left it right there by where you get the graph paper. Right here?
Cubed.
Cubed. That is correct. So write this down. Step number 1, circle important numbers. Step number 2, underline the question. Step number 3, box important terms or ideas. Step number 4, exclude unnecessary information. And step number 5, draw pictures, diagrams, tables, labels, etc. Copy that. I'll give you some time. Go. All right, so once again, who sees the acronym here? Cubed. It sounds kind of like Q, right? It would have been cool if I would have started with the letter Q. So it could be Q, get it?
Yeah.
So how would I do that? Change this like, bam. Circle important numbers. Yeah. Be nice. Anyways, so that's the acronym that we're going to use to organize our information. So turn your paper over because we're going to need some space to do some work. So write example Q. Example Q. And now we're going to write the actual problem down of the video. Here it is. Example Q. It says, Mr. Q bought 30 spice chai and matcha 24-ounce drinks. The spice chai costs $5.75 and the matcha costs $6 for a total of $176. How many of each type of drink did Mr. Q buy? Copy that. All right, here we go. So it says, Mr. Q bought 30 spice chai and matcha 24-ounce drinks. The spice chai costs $5.75 and the matcha costs $6 for a total of $176. How many of each type of drink did Mr. Q buy? All right, now check this out. Look up, please. Look up, please. Now, these problems we can do by guessing a number, multiplying, and guessing the other number, multiplying, and see if they add up to that total. And we can continue going on. We don't want to do that. I want us to set up a system of equations. That's why I'm going to assign points to all the process. All right? So we're going to use the cubed strategy to make sure we organize our information. Ready? I'm going to start with blue. Letter C. Circle important numbers. What would be an important number to circle?
100,
30 drinks. Okay, 30 drinks. What else?
$176.
176 for the total. What else? Yes. 575 for what? For the spice chai. Right. And lastly, matcha, $6. All right. Next, with red, the letter U. It stands for what? Underline the question. Why do we need to underline it in red? To remind us to answer the question at the end in a statement form. All right. Next, in green, B for box in important terms. What are the terms that they have here? Well, important terms to know is that it's spice chai and matcha, and these are what? Drinks. Okay? Those are important things to know. The letter E means exclude anything else. So basically for right now, I'm ignoring all the other words because I already got the main stuff in there. And lastly, D for draw something. In this case, since it's not figures, I'm going to draw a table. So whenever we get to systems of equations, we always start with 3 lines down. Space them out. 1, 2, 3. Since we have to come up with 2 equations, now we do 2 lines across. 1, 2. Julia, focus. All right? Are we there so far? Now, this kind of problem is what we call item and cost kind of problem. So in this case, what items did I buy? Drinks. What if I would have gone to Johnny's and bought burritos and tortas? What would it be? Food. What if I would have gone to Cárdenas and bought apples and bananas? What would it be? Fruit, and so on and so forth. You see how the item changes? Okay, that's why the first row, this one in red, I'm going to label it item. And in parentheses, I'm going to write the item that we're referenced to. What is the reference? Drinks. What else do we notice? The second row is going to be the rest. The rest, if you see, it's money all over the place. You guys see that? So that's why this is called the cost. And I'm going to label this with a money sign, cost. All right, let's go by the columns. I'm going to label the first column, the first item that they talked about. What was the first item? Spice chai. So I'm going to label this spice chai. What would I label the next column? Matcha. And of course, the last one is always what? Our total. That is correct. Julian, focus. Are you writing this down? Okay, thank you. All right, next. I'm going to go on the row of the items to label this. Ready? Here we go. Do we know how many spiced matcha I bought? No. What can we label it? X, or look at this. S. I'm going to label it with a big S. And yes, we could have labeled this X, since we don't know how many. Do we know how many matcha drinks I bought? No, so we label it M, or in this case, if you would have used X for this one, this would have been our Y. Is that correct? All right. Do we know how many total drinks I bought? 30. That goes right there. That is correct. Let's go to the next row. Let's look at the cost. What is the cost for the spice chai? So we write $5.75. Do we know how many I bought? So it's $5.75 what? Do a big S so you don't confuse it with a 5. $5.75 S. So what do I write for the next column? 6M. That is correct, since I don't know how many matchas I bought. Bless you. Bless you. Do we know the total cost? $176. All right. Now guess what? Now that we have our information, look at it. Don't say it out loud. There's two equations right there. It's a system. Who sees it? All right, let's see if you see it. The first one is what? S plus M equals 30. Write it down underneath. S plus M equals 30. Let's go. With that said, what is our second equation? Bree. S plus 6M. That is correct. And here we have now a system of equations. So I know, right? You're like, what? Are you serious? Yes. This is exactly what I'm telling you when I go to restaurants and stuff. My brain creates these problems in my head. Isn't that cool? No. So anyways, check this out. Think about this. How many methods do we know in solving a system of equations? Tell your neighbor which method would be the easiest to use for this one. Elimination. Okay, so if you want to use elimination, look at it. Now let's make a decision. Which variable would you like to start eliminating first? M. Let's do M so we don't use the decimals. Okay, that makes sense. Which means we need to multiply this one times what, everyone? Negative 6. Damn, you guys remind me of me in kindergarten. All right, negative 6S minus 6M equals negative 6 times 30, that's 180. Yeah, negative 180. All right, let me zoom in. Now can we eliminate? Yeah. All right, so we eliminate the m's. We have 575 minus 6. That leaves us with what? Negative 0.25s. Make up the s bigger so you can confuse it with a 5. Equals 2. What is 175 minus 180? Negative 4. Do we know how to solve this? Yes. So therefore, let's see. We do divide by negative 0.25, divide by negative 0.25. This is our one, so we're left with S equals whatever this is. Let's see, I'm going to do that on the side. 4 divided by 0.25. We move the decimal twice. That means we add 2 zeros. No more decimal here. 25 into 40 is 1. 25 subtract, that's 15. Add a 0 into 150 6 times. Therefore, S equals 16. And zoom out. Does that make sense? Yeah? You notice how everything's coming together now? You're like, what? Are you serious? Yes. It's that simple. Now, check this out. Tell your neighbor what this means. What does that mean? Tell your neighbor.
30 minus 16 equals M.
All right. So this means that I bought 16 spice chai teas, right? However, in your noodle, you already know that your noodle's doing something to find out how many of the matchas, right? But that's elementary stuff. I can ask elementary kids to figure out that. You need to use an equation. Look up to the screen. Which equation am I going to use to substitute back in there and finish solving for M? The top one, because it's the item equation. So I'm going to use what? S plus M equals 30. But instead of S, what goes there? 16. We bring down the M equals 30 minus 16 minus 16. Therefore, M equals 14. What does that mean? Matchas 14. Are we done? No, we underline the question with red. It says, how many of each type of drink did Mr. Q buy? All right, give me the statement. Luca. Mr. Q bought 14 matcha, and 16 spice chai drinks. And at the end, 10 cubes. Yeah, from the corner, let's go. Does that make sense? Yeah, right? But notice how now everything already kicked in because we already have the practice and you guys have been doing all your home play all semester and your noodle is ready to go, right? Okay. All right. So here goes the process one more time. We were given a problem. We cubed it, yes? Created a table. How many lines down for the systems now? 3 lines down. How many across? 2. The first row is for the item. The second row for the cost. We label the first column the first item that they mentioned. We label the second column the second item that they mentioned. And the last column is for our what? Total. Are we there? And then from there, once we label everything, we come up with our system, solve, and our statement. Let me show you the points. 1 point for the table, 1 point to write out the system, 1 point to solve the first variable, 1 point for the other, and 1 point for the statement for a total of 5 points. Okay, let's do another one. Example 1. Underneath that, write example 1. Write this down. It says, Reagan has $7.75 to buy 12 sheets of felt and cardstock for her scrapbook. The felt costs 50 cents per sheet and the cardstock costs 75 cents per sheet. How many sheets of each can Reagan buy? Copy that, please. I'll give you some time. Ready, go. I'm going to start with blue for circle important numbers. What's important? Rody. So 775 Reagan has, which means that's our what? Our total. Okay. What else is important, everyone? 12 sheets. Circle that. Okay. What else? 50 cents for the felt. What else? 75 cents for the cardstock. Okay. Let's underline the question. What is our question? How many sheets of each can Reagan buy? With green, let's box important terms. What are we looking at? We're looking at sheets. What kind of sheets? Felt. And what else? Cardstock. Okay. The rest of it we're going to exclude for right now because it's not, we don't need it to set up our information, and we're going to draw our table. Ready? So 3 lines down. 1, 2, 3. 1 across. 2 across. All right. I'm going to give you a head start so you can set this up before we start solving. Try not to look at the previous example. Try and see if you can set it up without looking at the example that you just did. See if you can remember. Copy that and go. All right. Let's see who can give me the row for the first row right here. Hunter. Item, what kind? That is correct. And then? No. You're still here on this row. Go all the way. F. C. And then? $12. That is correct. All right. Julian, what can we label the top? This one right here.
S.
Very good. Felt. And this one?
C for card.
Cardstock. And right here?
Total.
Total. All right. The last row. Ryan, tell me what to label this. Marissa, help him out. Cost. And then what goes here? 0.50 what? F. That is correct. How about here? C. And the total? Hands if you got that. That is correct. Do we know how to write the system from there? Isaac, give me the system. Go. F plus C equals 12 and 0.50 F, 0.75 C. All right. So far, so good. Which variable would you like to eliminate, Isaac? F or C? F, which means we're going to multiply this one times what, everyone? Negative 0.50, distribute, so that's negative 0.50 F, negative 0.50 C equals negative, what is half of 12? 6. Okay, let's see. Eliminate, what is 0.75 minus 50?
0.25.
C equals, what is 775 minus 6?
1.75.
Okay, and lastly, we divide by 0.25, divide by 0.25. C equals, let's see, if we move the decimal twice, 175, 25, it's in there how many times? 7. 3, that's 14, 17, yep. 7 times. So what does that mean, everyone? How many cardstock? 7. And what do we need to write to figure out the other one? F plus C equals 12, but instead of C, we write 7. So we have F plus 7 equals 12, minus 7 minus 7, F equals 5. All right? Our statement. Paul, go. Reagan bought 5 sheets of felt and 7 sheets of card stock. 10 cubes. Tell me what figures how come through you are with these? Yeah, we got this, yes? So our home play for tonight. Home play is on page 310. There's 3 word problems in there. See how you do with those? And they're the item and cost kind. Okay? All right, guys, have a good one. There is tutoring. If I don't see you guys tomorrow. Bye.
Movie?
Tomorrow. Retakes tomorrow. Yeah. Bye.